Charlottesville, Virginia's police chief is not admitting any failures in the way his department responded to Saturday's violent protest, but he says he regrets the loss of life. 32-year-old Heather Heyer was killed when a car was used to attack a group of counter-demonstrators, and 2 Virginia state troopers died monitoring the protest. Lieutenant H.J. Cullen and trooper pilot Burke Bates were killed when their helicopter crashed. David Begnaud is outside the City Hall in Charlottesville. David, good morning.
Charlie, good morning. Outside City Hall here is a writing wall. This wasn't free speech. This was terrorism. And resign City Council. We asked a lot of pointed questions of the police chief yesterday, who told us that of the 1,000 officers who were in this area, he told his men to show up in their regular uniform. And he was also questioned about an allegation that someone within his department told his men to stand down when things got violent. And the chief said that is absolutely not true.
It was a challenge. It was certainly a challenge.
Chief Al Thomas Jr. says it took about an hour to regain control of the streets in downtown Charlottesville on Saturday.
Do you regret not having your officers better prepared and in their proper gear earlier so they could have acted sooner?
Absolutely, I have regrets.
And what are your regrets?
We lost 3 lives.
But I'm talking about the actions of your department.
I certainly have regrets.
Chief Thomas said the security plan called for the white supremacists and counter-protesters to enter Emancipation Park through separate entrances. But when the white supremacists, who the chief says agreed to the plan, started using other entrances, skirmishes broke out.
If you do not disperse immediately, you will be arrested.
Around 11:30 a.m., police began to clear the park of all demonstrators, sending them out into the streets.
We had groups that were moving constantly. We were following a number of groups, ensuring that they were being peaceful. We were spread thin once the groups dispersed.
This event has been declared an unlawful assembly.
About 2 hours after police ordered the park vacated, James Alex Fields Jr., a white supremacist from Ohio, allegedly rammed his Dodge Challenger into a group of counter-protesters. Heather Heyer was killed. At least 19 other people were hurt. On Monday, the 20-year-old security guard was denied bond. He's being held on second-degree murder and other charges. After the hearing, he was fired from his security job.
We defended ourselves.
Outside of court, white nationalists tried to absolve Fields of any blame.
This is on the hands of the city government, of the police, and the radical left.
This morning, police are looking into the background and electronic records of that man who drove his car into that crowd of people, trying to figure out, did he have help or did anybody direct him to do what he did? Gayle, there are court records in Kentucky. When that young man was 12 years old, his mother, who's in a wheelchair, by the way, apparently threatened her with a knife, locked her in a bathroom, and hit her in the head.
Boy, David, what kind of person do you have to be to threaten your mother, not alone your disabled mother? Thank you very much.